Have you ever heard the sound of freedom?
Welcome to another 5-minute flip.
What is up, Flip-A-Ponami? I'm not sure if this is going to be a 5-minute flip or not. We'll see what happens. But it is August 26th, 2026. Woo, that was kind of weird, kind of cool. Yeah, I just want to give you an update. Honestly, just asking you for prayer for me. Just a lot going on. I have been wanting to get another episode up on the podcast. You can see there's been a couple weeks delay. Last week I overbooked myself. I spoke at a family camp and then had a little mini Beyond the Battle getaway with some guys, a little event. And man, yeah, I've just overbooked my fall. It's taken a lot out of me. And so I am asking for continual prayer for me as I work with my counselor and my wife and a friend who's doing some coaching with me on my schedule, and just trying to use discernment so that I don't kind of get myself into this place. And so, yeah, I greatly appreciate prayer for that. And again, those deeper layer issues like we've been talking about on the podcast, the people-pleasing sense of self, saying yes to just too many things at one time. And a lot of that comes from that, that people-pleasing. I won't rehash it all here, but if you've been listening to the last, a few episodes, 2 or 3 of them of the last, handful that we've done have been on that. So then, man, with church stuff, just pray for our church, Mosaic Church, Grand Rapids. We just got run over by a truck yesterday, it feels like. We've been renting from the Boys and Girls Club for 5 years. I think we've been really good tenants. We participate in a lot of their stuff. I volunteered for 3 years. I was ready to volunteer again after my shoulder surgery. There's families that come to our church from there. So we just randomly got sat down and told they weren't going to rent to us anymore. This is after we moved back into our original building. We were there 3 years. They did a $5 million renovation. We were in a different campus for a year and a half, which really was not a great building. But we stuck through it, and we were really excited to get back. And the building's nice, but more than that, to reconnect with the neighborhood. So our missional calling is to be, there's 2 blocks. As we moved back in, we felt called to focus on, to be really intentional with just loving, with serving, with just doing fun stuff. You can take on too big of, we're going to reach the whole city, we're going to love the whole let's start with a block, right? Or 2 blocks. So we've just done some really fun stuff since we've been back, and it's really reinvigorated our people and me, like the vision of the church of both the Jesus kingdom values, racial equity, just being multi-ethnic, stuff that is really near and dear to my heart and to our heart as a church. And so, we mowed lawns, and, we asked if we could mow people's lawns back at the end of May. And this is before we'd been able to move back in. But we handed out flyers to our grand opening. We gave out flower pots as well, which was really cool. And then we had really good reception to that. And then just this last Sunday, we did a free ice cream truck. We decorated one of the guys in our church's pickup truck. It was super fun. The kids made these poster boards, free ice cream. We had corny ice cream truck music playing on a Bluetooth. Put one of our A-frame signs that has our logo on it, big sidewalk sign on top of the truck. Bunch of kids in the back. We had coolers filled with ice cream, like ice cream on a stick, type of stuff that you'd get from the ice cream truck. We had balloon animals. Yeah, we just knocked on doors again, and hey, come get some free ice cream. Handed out flyers to our cookout Sunday, and then just we're told we can't meet anymore. They gave us till the end of December, the end of the year, to find a new place, but just really abrupt, really very little explanation given. And the timing of it is just really difficult because of the amount of time it took to, and energy and expense, to move back in, to do a grand opening, to do a mass mailer, all that stuff. So yeah, just feeling deflated from that. And I'd ask you just pray against the enemy's attacks on Mosaic. We've had over the course of, I don't know how many months it's been now, some distortion, a narrative created by someone in our church who's just your classic divisive situation. Man, it's exhausting. It's that codependency I've been talking about on the podcast. You just pray for me. It's sometimes being a pastor, Like, why do I do this to myself? I'm sharing that with you because it's where I'm at. I want to get an update out to you guys. And then last, I want to say September 1st, that's coming up this Tuesday, is the release date for Shelter in the Storm. So very excited about that. Some of you are on the launch team. If you're not, you may have pre-ordered the book. I am very thankful for that. You can get on Amazon and pre-order the book there. Go to my website if you want to help out. There's a little affiliate link on my books section, and then you can click that, and I get a little bit back from Amazon on that. But if you've pre-ordered, your book will show up, and if you're up for doing a social media post about the book, just take a picture, share a few words, use hashtag Psalms along with hashtag Shelter in the Storm. And if you can share my affiliate link, that would be super, super helpful. If you're able to also share a review on Goodreads and a review on Amazon, super, super helpful. And yeah, it's I don't know if ironic is the right word, but God is making me practice what I preach. I mean, this book was birthed out of God being my shelter in the storm, right? I would say it was birthed out of storms. I'm not saying it was birthed out of, wow, I'm having this amazing experience with God. Let's write this book. This was birthed out of the pandemic. I'm in a deep storm. I mean, I'm in it. I can't see straight. And the Psalms are the place I've always gone during that time. When things aren't making sense, you go to the Psalms. When scripture doesn't make sense, you go to the Psalms. When reality and your theology aren't making sense, you go to the Psalms. And so it's birthed from that. It's birthed from that experience during the pandemic and just a pretty tough spot I was in with my mental and emotional health, and finding God as my shelter through that in the storm, going through the Psalms and finding that to be the constant theme, and seeing that that God is there, and it's about perspective. It's not about easy answers. And so I'm thankful for that experience. But it's like, I'm not that he's making me go through it again, but I say that a little bit tongue in cheek. There's just sort of an irony where God's saying, yeah, all right, you're going to put this book out there. We're going to make sure it's still coming from a place of authenticity. And it has been wonderful to have being immersed in these Psalms for so long now as you prepare for a book. I mean, it's a huge process. I've been preaching now at the family camp. I preached today at Our Daily Bread's chapel, which was really good. But being immersed in this, I'm having to live it out, where, like I said a few episodes ago on Psalm 23, Jesus is my shelter through this. He's my shepherd, but he's my nourishment in Psalm 23. He is my green pasture. He is the quiet waters. He is the banquet, the feast, because it's all that is happening in the darkest valley. As I walk in the darkest valley, even though I walk in this valley of the shadow of death, the banquet is prepared before my enemies. That's how David writes it. So they're simultaneous, and we would love for it to go away. I would too. Please pray that it goes away. But man, there is such like this subtle kind of godlike, just only God would, kind of do it this way. Freedom of going, I've been just kind of saying Psalm 23 in my head each night to fall asleep, not in a reciting rote sort of way, but in a genuine, your rod and staff comfort me, Jesus. My comfort is not found in these things going away. My comfort's not found in the Boys and Girls Club calling me up and saying, oh man, we made a big mistake. We're sorry. You can actually stay. And we're so thankful for all you've done for us, like as a tenant. And it's real. That's the storm, right? This situation at church just disappearing, right? So it's not that going away and now the comfort comes. It's falling asleep knowing that Jesus' rod and staff is my comfort. And it's comforting to know that he is in authority. He is God, and to recognize my own distortions that only see the short term, that can only see sort of the negative circumstance in the moment, and we get fixated on that rather than taking off the distorted lenses and seeing God for who he is and who he's been throughout redemptive history. And that's what I love about the Psalms. I mean, that's what they are. That's what Shelter in the Storm is. It's seeing the psalmist go through that same paradox, the same two things happening at the same time that sort of contradict themselves. the circumstance that is very difficult and isn't changing, and God's faithfulness, his love, the green pasture, his companionship, his presence, being the thing that allows me to say, I lack nothing. That's Psalm 23:1. Or I shall not be in want, or I shall not want. Those are some strong, bold, audacious statements to say, and they would be contradictions. They would be incorrect if this wasn't true about Jesus, that he is what makes us be able to say, I lack nothing. And there's a deep, deep layer to find, to be able to experience that. So if nothing else, call it a 5-minute flip. Today, update for me, I appreciate your prayer. And I say those things that perhaps you can relate, right? You can relate to stuff in your own story and just know this is real. I'm living it too. And so let's live it together. All right. Thanks for listening to this 5-minute flip. I will see you next time, hopefully a week today. Post-book launch. I will see you next time on the flip side.
Thanks for listening to this 5-minute flip. Subscribe for more flips and long-form episodes of The Flip Side. Visit www.patreon.com/NoahFilipiak to support and get sweet Flipside swag.